It's 46 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Gitata. And Datestana. That's the way we wrap up our first hour. Actually, no, it's not how we wrap up our first hour. It's a Friday on a beautiful, beautiful sunny day in the city of uMhlathuze. And we had Datestana give us Gitata. Welcome to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. It's a special broadcast because it is the final day of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025 in the city of uMhlathuze, in this beautiful venue called Tembela venue. It's been home to us for the past couple of days, and we are about to get into a conversation with one of the delegates, a very important delegate this time around. As always, actually, we've had important delegates the whole time. People who've been contributing to the success of the TIFA 2025, and it's no different this time around. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage Ma'am Jackie.
Hello.
Motsepe.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm doing well.
She is the Chief Operating Officer of TAFA. That's the Tourism Authority, Tourism and Film Authority. It's all come together now. 3 days in the TIFA. And what have been the sentiments from the other delegates that have been here who want to invest into the city of uMhlathuze, into Richards Bay? From your perspective as TAFA, what has their response been, and how has the success of this forum been for you personally?
Well, yes, thanks. I mean, we are on the last day, and it's actually a good time to take stock of what's been happening over the past few days. I think what this platform has done is given the delegates an opportunity to see uMhlathuze as a destination on many levels, from tourism and investment. They've been visiting some of the sites on the first day to see what is the potential there for investment. And I think it's really opened up the eyes of the delegates to what's possible here. Quite a number of them are investors, as you know, and they are bankers, a whole range. It's a very rich, diverse selection of the delegates that actually have been here with us over the past few days. And for them to come into an area like this and be able to see the potential with their worldview, their global view, and look at, give us case studies and examples, lessons learned of how other areas across the globe have developed to become the massive tourism destinations that they are today. So it's been massive learnings. It's been very rich in content. A lot of the delegates have said that they've learned a lot. I've certainly learned a lot over the last few days, in terms of the interlink between tourism and investment, but also demystifying that. How do you access investment as a tourism operator, for example, as a tourism destination? So it's been extremely informative, over the last few days. It's been a very packed program, but I think also in the breakaways, there've been quite a number of discussions that have been happening offline, and hopefully we do get to see what is the return in the long term. It's one of the things that the Premier said on the first day, that he would like to have a report on what are the outcomes that have come out of this conference. So it's been good from that perspective.
So not just all talk.
Absolutely.
There must be action.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, 9 minutes to go till it is 2 p.m. in Central African Time. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've just started listening, we are in conversation with Jackie Motsepe in her capacity as Chief Operations Officer of the KwaZulu-Natal Tourism and Film Authority, or KZN TAFA as it's known. We'll be right back.
The Upside. The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of uMhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Richards Bay, KZN South Africa. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Welcome back. We are broadcasting live from the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. Broadcasting live from the Tourism Investment Forum Africa for the year 2025. Of course, if you've been following us and our broadcast for the past 3 days, you will know that it is in its third year. And 2025 really just seems like very transformational, if we could use that term, in terms of where TIFA is going, in terms of, you know, how tourism and investment meet. What does that look like? What does that mean? Especially when we look at the themes around tourism and investment going cross-continental. Or cross-regional, if I could put it that way, because we've got Uganda here, we've got Ghana, we've got South Africa, we've got Mozambique. So all the regions on the African continent really meeting for an essential time and transition, as it were. Ms. Motsepe, let's talk about, if you could please elaborate on TAFA's main role in hosting TIFA. You know, you speak of outcomes, but what is really the desired outcomes for you?
So the TIFA program is actually a component of the Convention Bureau that we run at Tourism and Film Authority. So Convention Bureau is really about bringing business events into the province, into the city, and this is obviously one of the business events that we're supporting. The whole rationale for bringing a business event into a location is really about how is that business event going to stimulate the economy. So this is a tourism and investment conference. It's highly informative. You know, there are a lot of topics that are going to be discussed. And we run a number of these on a range of different topics in different parts of the province, mostly in Durban, but we also do reach out to different parts of the province. So we have issues of science, you know,
Right.
culture, the economy. So this is part of the activities that we do as a convention bureau. So it's about bringing a business into the province, and that obviously has a ripple effect. There's travel, there's accommodation, there's transport, you know, all the vehicles that you've seen going to the different locations on a daily basis here during the conference. So all of this is assisting uMhlathuze, you know, in terms of occupancy. If you try to get a hotel room over these last few days, they're fully booked. You are not going to get a room in the city. You know, the transport operators have been very busy. You know, some of the tour operators have been here. There is an exhibition with one or two businesses here, but the different municipalities in the area are also exhibiting. You know, and we've got also the crafters that are here as well. So it's really all about assisting a location through bringing the business event into their town to impact their economy, but also provide, you know, opportunities for all the different service providers that exist in the town. And even with the implementation of the TIFA itself, we've very much used the local suppliers, and we've not transported anything in, unless, of course, we can't find it locally.
Yes, right.
Were there any challenges that you came across during conversations, during the presentations that were brought to your attention that need to be addressed going forward in attracting and securing investments?
Well, you know, the challenges have been spoken about. You know, it's not easy to... They say it's not easy to do business on the continent. You know, it's not easy for different countries across the continent to work together. You know, it's not easy to build a compelling business case, you know, for business. But a lot of the speakers that have spoken here today, again, they come from different parts of the world, have said to us that they're basically saying to us that you're sitting on a gold mine. You know, just looking at uMhlathuze, there was a speaker who spoke about spending 5 days in Mhlathuze, and he actually said that it was better than speaking to a guru. what he learned in those 5 days about the landscape, the history, the culture, how nature and the people basically work together, in symbiosis. So we do have a lot on the continent. It's really just about seeing how we can unlock a lot of those things. There was again talk about the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. How can we activate that more? How can we access that, just to enable us to do trade? We all know that, you have to apply for a visa before you can go to any African country. The cost, sometimes you have to go to Europe to get there. But, those, I guess, would be what we would call challenges. But at the same time, they're not insurmountable, and they really shouldn't discourage us, from doing what it is that we need to do. Because the more we are able to work together, a lot of those obstacles are actually going to start going away. Because if we start working more with, I'm trying to think of a destination that we don't fly to, but a country that we don't necessarily have an air route to directly, or that doesn't fly into Durban. But if on the ground the people are doing business together, they are finding a way of working through the systems and actually working together, that is going to make the airline then interested in saying, well, how do I open a route here? Because there are people that are frequently traveling for business between these two destinations. That also then impacts your tourism. And we've heard the examples here through the conference, It then impacts on tourism. People want to now visit because they've come for business. They've seen how beautiful it is. They want to bring their families. And then it becomes, a tourism, destination for them. So there will be challenges, but I think there are ways of working around them and working with the challenges actually sometimes.
Of course, disruption meeting creativity, meeting, expertise and research. Just on your point around, people that have been going through Hluhluwe and other places within KZN, just your final word around how we can cement KZN as a place for investment, but using experience to do that, not just, conferencing, but really going into the places, using experience to launch and cement, KZN as a space for tourism, for film and investment.
So, again, I'll go back to learnings from this conference is you really have to build a solid, bankable business case for investment. Because at the end of the day, an investor is looking to invest in something that's bankable, but also they need to know what is the turnaround and when am I going to get a return on my investment. It's going to be in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, but they need to know that, and they actually need to have a very good understanding of how the cash will flow into the business, how that, will grow the business and how eventually they're going to get their money back. So it's about us understanding, how to build those business cases, but also, again, something interesting that one of the speakers said is that let's not assume that we know the benchmarks, because we do a lot of benchmarking. Let's not assume that we know the benchmarking. Let's actually find out what are the benchmarks.
Yes.
And rather let's research that more, and let's basically hit the right touch points, and build our cases in a convincing manner.
Right. Ms. Jackie Motsepe, thank you very much for the time. It was an honor to really get insight as to, why we're gathered here. I think this was a wonderful way to really give insight for those particularly that are listening to us for the first time. Thanks for staying with us. It is 2 p.m. in Central African time. We cross to the news desk to find out what the latest is.